Andres Iniesta on the left. Iniesta going with quite possibly, well, not quite possibly, certainly his last El Clasico as a Barca player. He'll be moving on at the end of this season. Sergio Busquets, the Catalan midfielder. Ivan Rakitic, the Croatian. Coutinho, the Brazilian, in another midfield position out there on the right. He may slide up and back in a forward position as well. And the two strikers, the Uruguayan Luis Suarez and the Argentinian, the king, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Lionel Messi.
Y por parte del Real Madrid, recordemos que tiene bajas como por ejemplo la de Carvajal, 11 también de gala para el equipo de Zinedine Zidane, con Keylor Navas en la portería, Nacho será el lateral derecho, Marcelo en el lateral izquierdo, Sergio Ramos y Rafael Varane en el centro de la defensa, tres centrocampistas, Casemiro, Modric, Toni Kroos, y en la delantera la BBC, Gareth Bale por la derecha, Ronaldo más tirado a banda izquierda y Karim Benzema en la delantera.
Thank you, Jordi. So Barca's going with a 4-4-2 that could become a 4-3-3 depending on whether Coutinho slides up onto the wing. Real Madrid going with a 4-3-3 themselves. Keylor Navas in goal. Nacho on the right fullback position. Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane as the center backs. Marcelo, the superstar left back for Real Madrid. In the midfield, Luka Modric, Casemiro, Toni Kroos, the German, and three strikers. You may know them as the BBC, Gareth Bale, Karim Benzema, and Cristiano Ronaldo. As we said, these are two star-studded lineups. The only major injury out of these, with a player you may be expected to see in the starting lineup, would normally be Dani Carvajal. He'll be out in favor of Nacho for this game. But other than that, both teams are bringing all the firepower they have, both on defense and on attack, and we should be ready for an exciting game, folks. This is football in its purest form. They're playing for the colors, they're playing for pride. Again, the La Liga title is already wrapped up for FC Barcelona. So the first question I'm going to ask to everybody that's following us out there on especially Facebook and YouTube, can you let us know what you think the score of the game is going to be, given that this game is not for the league title? Some people expected these two teams to be a lot closer in the standings at this point of the season. FC Barcelona in first place, having already clinched with 86 points, 26 victories, 8 draws, and 0 losses. That's right, Barca is still undefeated on this season, and including the final 7 games of last season. That's 42 overall, 35 this season. That's the most any team has done in La Liga history. Atletico Madrid is in second place. A little bit of a surprise there. Real Madrid in third as the Barca players. Andres Iniesta among them there at the beginning of the line, getting ready to jump out on to the field. Real Madrid in third place, 71 points. They're 15 points behind FC Barcelona at this point in the season. Nobody would have said that a few months ago, but that's exactly where we are. So besides the pride factor, Real Madrid may be trying to get a little bit of revenge. Besides those 15 points, they don't want anybody to think that the difference is really that large. And of course, earlier this season on December 23rd, as Andres Iniesta and Sergio Busquets are the first Barca players out onto the field. Back on December 23rd, the last meeting between Barca and Real Madrid was at the Santiago Bernabeu, and it was an early Christmas present for Barca fans. Barca rolling to a 3-0 rout at the Santiago Bernabeu. One of the reasons has such a big lead in this competition and having already wrapped it up. So Real Madrid, maybe a little bit of more revenge on their minds, but there's no question they're going to be battling out on the field tonight.
Como sabéis, el Barça ya es campeón de Liga. Los jugadores ya han salido a calentar al césped del Camp Nou. Primero, Andrés Iniesta, partido especial, especialísimo para el centrocampista del Barça, para el capitán del Barça. Último clásico para el manchego y lo vivirá como titular. Arrastraba unas pequeñas molestias en el solio durante la semana. Ayer y antes de ayer ya entrenó con el grupo y Andrés Iniesta, evidentemente, inicial para vivir este clásico de la Liga Española. Como decía Mike, hacía 10 años que este partido no llegaba, digamos, sin trascendencia a nivel de decidir el campeón de Liga. El Barça ya es campeón de Liga, lo hizo la semana pasada, lo confirmó la semana pasada en Riazor, en el campo del Deportivo de La Coruña, con esa victoria por 2-4, lo cual deja una distancia de 15 puntos entre los dos. Es la distancia más grande a la cual se ha llegado en un clásico en la historia. Y si el Barça suma 18 puntos, suma la victoria, estaría 18 puntos por delante del Real Madrid a falta de 3 jornadas para el final, lo cual sería el récord entre los dos equipos. Ahora mismo el récord es de la temporada, ayer lo hablamos con Mike Roberts, la temporada 85-86 con Terry Venables, el Barça llegó a estar a 17 puntos del Real Madrid. El Barça gana, quedará a 18 puntos del Barça, unas cifras fantásticas para el equipo de Ernesto Valverde, que ya está calentando. Como veis, Mike, un calentamiento más corto que el del Real Madrid, que hace ya casi 10 minutos que ha saltado el césped. Calentamiento más corto por parte de los jugadores del Barça, en un césped que está en un estado extraordinario y que verá por primera vez a Coutinho debutar en un clásico. El brasileño debuta hoy en un clásico.
That's right, Coutinho making his El Clasico debut. He joined Barca in January, a couple weeks after the previous match was played at the Bernabeu in December. So, nice little personal motivation for him. There's Andres Iniesta getting loosened up for this game. There's got to be a lot of really interesting things going through Iniesta's head. We saw his very emotional press conference last week, and there should be a lot of emotions going through the head of Iniesta, because this is going to be his very last Clásico. He's played a lot of them. As we take a closer look at Felipe Coutinho's shoes with the Brazilian flag, a couple personal sayings on there, a nice pair of Nikes for Coutinho. But going back to Andres Iniesta, in the starting lineup for his final El Clásico, he came on in the Copa del Rey final. He was applauded by both teams in that game. A goal, he actually started the Copa del Rey final, scored a goal for Barca, was applauded by both teams. Nothing new for Iniesta. He's beloved throughout Barcelona, throughout Spain, and throughout the world because of everything he's given to both FC Barcelona and the world of football in general. That's a quote from Ernesto Valverde, his press conference yesterday, as Andres Iniesta gets loosened up there on the field. This classic is, as Jordi said, Barca with a 15-point lead over Real Madrid, the biggest a long time since the 1980s, and a victory for Barca would lead that difference at 18 points. Who would have thunk it that Barca would be 18 points ahead of Real Madrid with just a couple games left to play? Now, of course, this is match day 36 in La Liga, but it's actually only game 35 for Barca and Real Madrid. All of the other teams in La Liga have already played 36 games. This is the final game. I think it's the final game. Is there one more game tomorrow? I think this may be the final. There's one more game tomorrow. Most of the other teams have played 36 games. The other two teams are Leganés and Levante. They square off tomorrow. This is the penultimate match in this weekend's schedule. But Barca and Real Madrid, the reason why they've only played 34 up until this point is because when Barca faced Sevilla in the Copa del Rey final 2 weeks ago, Sevilla was supposed to play Real Madrid that weekend in La Liga, and Barca was supposed to play Villarreal. Going to be next week, and so each of them has one less game. So Real Madrid is going to try and narrow that gap on Barca. They don't want to make that any bigger. Barca, of course, has won the double, the domestic double. Clearly the kings of Spanish soccer, Spanish football. Real Madrid narrowly the Champions League final with an aggregate win by 1 goal over Bayern Munich earlier this week. There were a lot of questions surrounding whether or not they'll be tired, whether they'll be rested or not. It appears they're not going to be, because they have all of their big, except for Carvajal, out there. Even Rafael Varane, the center back, appeared to be a little touched up in that game against Bayern Munich, but he's out there starting in this one. So it shows you how seriously the coaches on both sides are taking this game, as well as the fact that a game that mathematically has no bearing on the La Liga Championship this year, and given that it's a World Cup year on top of it, every player of both of these teams are going to be starting and playing for their teams, national teams, this summer, which is just over a month away. You would think that in a lot of years, if this wasn't an El Clasico, under the current situation, these standings, that a lot of these guys wouldn't be playing this game. But given that it's an El Clasico, the rivalry of all rivalries, the greatest show on earth, whatever you want to call it, they're out there. This is the 238th El Clasico of all time among all competitions. Real Madrid has 95 victories, Barca has 93 victories, and the two teams have drawn 49 times. Barca looking for its 50th all-time home La Liga win over Real Madrid, and Barca's current El Clasico record in league games played at Camp Nou is 49 wins, 18 draws, and 20 losses. another beautiful picture of Messi and Iniesta. There's Gerard Piqué out there warming up. I'm excited for this game, Jordi. How about you?
Ansioso porque empiece ya el partido. Estamos esperando. Son las 8 y 25 minutos hora española. Recordemos el partido empieza a 8:45 hora española. Por tanto, aún nos quedan 20 minutos más con vosotros. Llegaremos no solo hasta que acabe el calentamiento, intentaremos aguantar un rato más hasta que salten los equipos al césped. Escucharemos el himno. Así que aguantaremos casi hasta que empiece este partido, que tiene muchos alicientes, entre ellos, por ejemplo, que el Barça siga invicto en esta liga. Como sabéis, jornada 36, hasta ahora no ha perdido ningún partido. La racha es de 42 partidos, si tenemos en cuenta los partidos de la temporada pasada. Es el récord en la Liga Española, por lo cual el Barça evidentemente querrá seguir invicto en un partido como el de hoy contra el Real Madrid y evidentemente intentar acabar la liga invictos. La jornada 36, el Barça tiene pendiente la 37, que es contra el Levante el próximo fin de semana, y la 38, que es la última contra la Real Sociedad, que será el último partido de Liga en el Camp Nou. Pero hay un partido pendiente, como decía Mike, el partido contra el Villarreal, que se aplazó por la disputa de la final de la Copa del Rey entre el Barça y el Sevilla. Ese partido contra el Villarreal, cuando vemos la imagen aérea fantástica de la ciudad de Barcelona, aún con el sol ya cayendo, 16, 17 grados. Ha llovido durante la mañana de hoy, pero ha quedado una noche fantástica para la práctica del fútbol. Ahí veis esa imagen de Barcelona con el Camp Nou en el centro, a punto de vivir este clásico. Como decía, el Barça tiene pendiente un partido el miércoles, un partido de Liga en el Camp Nou contra el Villarreal. El próximo fin de semana jugará en el campo del Levante y 19-20 de mayo será la última jornada de Liga contra la Real Sociedad aquí en el Camp Nou, con lo cual es aliciente del Barça de seguir invicto en la Liga. El aliciente de este hombre, Andrés Iniesta, de su último clásico. Evidentemente el manchego se querrá despedir de los clásicos y más ante su afición, haciendo un auténtico partidazo. Tengo aquí algunos datos de Iniesta contra el Real Madrid. Es el rival al que más veces se ha enfrentado, 37, las mismas que el Atlético de Madrid. Siempre que ha marcado Iniesta en un clásico, el Barça ha ganado el partido. Atención. Y los goles que ha marcado Iniesta contra el Real Madrid en Liga no ha marcado. Ha marcado 3 goles contra el Real Madrid, 2 en el Bernabéu en Liga y 1 en Supercopa de España en el Camp Nou. Con lo cual Iniesta hoy, si marcase, sería el primer gol de Iniesta en la Liga contra el Real Madrid. Y como decía Mike, no es un partido cualquiera, no está en juego la Liga, pero solo hay que mirar el 11 del Real Madrid, que recordemos tiene pendiente la final de la Liga de Campeones a final de mes, para ver que Zidane no se ha guardado nada. 11 absolutamente de gala, con la BBC en la delantera, con lo cual hoy, Mike, está en juego el honor tanto del Barça como del Real Madrid.
That's right. This is all about pride. If there were any other two teams playing right now, either Barca or Madrid, against any other teams in La Liga, there would not be this many people lining up with enormous lines and this kind of media attention. There are hundreds and hundreds of credentialed media for this game, far more than any other game throughout the season, even though mathematically there's nothing to play for. With Barca having already wrapped up La Liga and already having won La Copa del Rey, there's really only 2 things left to play for this season. The first is beating Real Madrid. Now, everybody knows, as we check out this beautiful view of Camp Nou, getting filled up very slowly. You won't be able to see anything of the color of the seats in a few minutes' time. Barca has to win this game, wants to win this game, because culturally, for this area and for all the Barca fans around the world, anytime you beat Real Madrid, it just feels good. You can feel it the next day, whether the game is mathematically important or not, whether it comes in the Champions League, Copa del Rey, La Liga, whatever. Beating Real Madrid is a feel-good process. It's great for everybody. You can feel it in the city, you can feel it around the world. And then Barca's other motivation for the season is to not only remain undefeated on the season now with this game against Real Madrid, extend the unbeaten streak dating back to last season to 42 games. It's already a Spanish La Liga record. It used to be 38 games. Barca broke that a few weeks ago with a victory at Camp Nou against Valencia to go to 39. That record was almost 40 years old, and it was over 2 seasons by Real Sociedad in 1978-79 and 1979-80. They had 6 games at the end of one season, and then 32 games at the beginning of another season. Now Barca is now riding 7 from last season plus 34 of this season. That's already a record. It would be great to extend that over Real Madrid, and then Barca, of course, with the game against Villarreal, which was postponed from the conflict, the scheduling conflict with the Copa del Rey, and other games that Barca has to play left this season, a few more. They would like to go undefeated for the entire season because no team in La Liga history has ever done that. It's been done in the Premier League, it's been done in Italy, with some of the great teams a long time ago. But Barca would become the first team to do it, and it would be great to start that off by beating Real Madrid. There's Leo Messi.
Máximo goleador en la historia del Clásico en todas las competiciones, Lionel Messi, 25 goles contra el Real Madrid, 10 de ellos en el Camp Nou. Curiosamente ha marcado más en el Santiago Bernabéu, por ejemplo lo hizo en el último Clásico, esa victoria por 0-3 del Barça en el mes de diciembre, 23 de diciembre, 0-3 victoria clara del Barça contra el Real Madrid. En los últimos años se le ha dado mejor tanto al Barça como a Leo Messi jugar en el Santiago Bernabéu. Veremos si hoy la historia cambia, si el Barça es capaz de ganar. Hace 4 temporadas en Liga que el Barça no gana, desde la 14-15, perdón, hace 4 partidos desde la 14-15 que el Barça no gana en Liga, con esa victoria 2-1, ahí marcó Luis Suárez. Atención, uruguayo, ha marcado 5 goles en los 7 partidos contra el Real Madrid. Desde que llegó Luis Suárez es el jugador que más goles ha marcado contra el Real Madrid en la Liga. Atención también a esa pareja Messi-Suárez, especialistas en marcar goles contra el Real Madrid cuando ya los jugadores se retiran hacia el vestuario.
Here go the players, as we said. Leo Messi, Jordi was saying, in case you're wondering or you're still doubting who the GOAT is, in Clásicos, Leo Messi is the all-time leading scorer in the history of Barca Real Madrid matches. He has 25 goals. That's all competitions. Now, in just La Liga Clásicos, Messi has 17 goals. He's also the all-time leading scorer in that category. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo has 17 El Clásico goals to his own account in all competitions.
Piqué lateral que corresponde a Real Madrid. Llegamos a la mitad del primer tiempo, por suerte. Falta muchísimo por delante. El partido está 1-1. Benzema. Kroos. Ramos. Y la mete Ramos. Buen control de Nacho. Dejaba Cristiano. Se equivocó. La comprometió Modric. Iniesta. Y ahora Jordi Alba. Umtiti. Rakitic. Presiona Kroos. Busquets. Casemiro. Y por Madrid ahora. Benzema. Modric. Muy bueno, Benzema. Vamos a llegar Marcelo. Pase largo. Lateral. Muy bueno. Del Madrid. Que se grande ahora. Lateral.
Recital de Toni Kroos en los últimos 10 minutos.
Coutinho se equivocó. Ramos se lo va larga. Y ahora saque de arco para el Barcelona.
En todos los aspectos. Este es el gol. La bola pasada a Nacho. Messi arrastra a Nacho y a Ramos y define por detrás Suárez.
Allí viene Kroos. Toca Kroos. A Cristiano. Ahora Jordi Alba le pegó directamente en arco en ese rechazo. Y habrá saque de arco que corresponde a Real Madrid. 24 minutos. ¿Qué suplente tiene el Barça, Alex? Como alternativa de recambio.
Silicen, Semedo, Denis Suárez, Dembélé, Paulinho, Paco Alcácer y Vermaelen.
Bien, allí venía para Kroos. La mete Kroos. Paco de Benzema. Va Marcelo. Pica Cristiano. Espera Gareth Bale. Domina Gareth, viene Bale. 1-1. Bale. Para Marcelo. Ahí tenemos problemas para bajarla, Allí está. Marcelo. Con este centro. Se le sacó picar Benzema. Lo corre ahora para atrás Nacho. Se perdió el Barça, Y viene Nacho y mete el centro. Cristiano. Por arriba.
great work, isn't it? He's an attacker, of course. He wants to score goals. Yeah, he's in that middle of the park, going back and lifting the ball off Toni Kroos.
And it's now Real Madrid who've done exactly that here. Despite the fighting efforts of Rakitic, Benzema. He's got Marcelo out there, but not with a pass like that. It's his finest moment, Karim Benzema. Too much on it. Arsenal going to have a chance to get back in possession.
Here we see the ball again. Luis Suarez just arriving at the right time, guides it in. His right boot, maybe a bit of the bottom of the shin, doesn't matter. It's up in the back of the net.
Already a quarter away through this CLASIKO and plenty of quality football to admire. Certainly no sense that despite the La Liga title being wrapped up, that either side is taking any less seriously, and of course millions of fans watching around the world would demand nothing less.
No, that's right, the tempo's been absolutely superb, both sides. They are trying to win the ball back early, attacking when they can. It's a lovely open game of football.
Marcelo, big crossfield ball, and it's a good one. Bale finds Marcelo again. Decent ball in by PK. Benzema was
Modric just getting it away from Suarez to find Ramos. Ramos to Marcelo. Lovely control again from Marcelo, but he's dispossessed by Coutinho, whose pass collected by the ever-alert Casemiro. Toni Kroos, Luka Modric. Marcelo stands on the ball, feeds the pass through to the left where Benzema is waiting. Benzema, not the greatest return ball. Piqué goes down. Modric keeps control of the ball, whips the cross into the far post, and Ronaldo feels he might have been blocked there by Umtiti. The referee waves play on and bombing up the left. It's Jordi Alba, forced to pause as he sees he doesn't have enough teammates with him. Plays it back to Busquets. Busquets to Coutinho. Sergio Roberto ahead of him to his right. Coutinho goes inside to Leo Messi. Never the worst of options. He picks out Iniesta. Iniesta to Alba. Alba driving at Bale. Plays it to Andres Iniesta once more. Busquets. Rakitic. So calm on the ball. Sergio Roberto returns it to Rakitic. Buzzy wants it. Busquets gets it. Finds Iniesta. It's caught there by Gareth Bale. Free kick. Palms down from the ref. Take it easy, Gareth. This is Andres Iniesta you're talking about.
Also an Andres Iniesta who nearly didn't make it for the CLASICO. He didn't train all week until Friday. That was his first training session with the team. Trained again on Saturday and just got back from injury in time for El Clasico.
And the foul there by Gareth Bale is clumsy.
Yes, exactly.
It's a striker's challenge.
It's not a yellow card.
No, absolutely not. And Bale realised immediately he'd committed the infraction, apologised both to the referee and to Andres Iniesta, but he's being asked to do this defensive shift tonight, and for once, he's doing it. Leo Messi standing over the ball, flicks it in to Samuel Umtiti. Now, I think the flag's up for offside. I hope for Umtiti's sake it is.
It was a terrible miss, and such a good opportunity. Another brilliant ball. Yeah, he's definitely offside. Different class though, Leo. Balls into the box. It's just right in the danger zone. That corridor of uncertainty between the goalkeeper and the defence. Very difficult to defend the ball from that kind of position. In the end, Umtiti was offside.
Kroos to Marcelo, Marcelo to Casemiro. Modric. I have to say this Real Madrid midfield three, Modric and Casemiro, are sweeping up absolutely every loose ball. And if Toni Kroos, according to my vision, a slightly dodgy opening 5 or 10 minutes, he's more than made up for it since then. Here he is on the ball, gives it straight away to Modric, gets it back. One of those typical Kroos passes wide to Benzema, who keeps the ball in play, finds Gareth Bale. Ball here from Real Madrid. Modric intercepted by Coutinho. That was going tele-directed towards Marcelo.
You can see Ronaldo, Coutinho doing a similar role to Gareth Bale. He knows that Marcelo's going to be going forward an awful lot, so Coutinho, along with Sergio Roberto, very much responsible for covering Marcelo.
But Kroos manages to find Marcelo. His cross, under pressure, is overhit and kept in play by Nacho. Cuts it back to Modric. Modric's cross will arrive at the boots of Marcelo. Marcelo taking on Sergio Roberto, gets the cross in. Should have been Umtiti. It was Ronaldo who won it. Jordi Alba Polaks goes down in the penalty area. Umtiti, it should be against the laws of gravity, that one.
Well, he's in between Jordi Alba and Samuel Umtiti. Look at the leap. He's literally a whole head above Samuel Umtiti. It's an incredible leap from Cristiano Ronaldo. He's about a metre up off the ground. Incredible.
7 minutes to go. Iniesta to Rakitic. Rakitic turned to Sergio. Coutinho making a little run ahead and right. Coutinho on the ball. Cutting inside, back to Rakitic. This circulation from Barca when they're in kind of static positions is very slow. Pace when they're on the move, that's so hard to defend. Madrid sitting back quite happily now, allowing Barca a possession. Busquets finding Piqué. Very slow from Barca though. They can speed up in the blink of an eye, however. Going away from the pressure of Toni Kroos, only just. Rakitic. Kroos continuing to press. Messi back to Piqué, gets the return ball. Alba again in masses of space. Instead, he finds Rakitic through the middle. Rakitic quick to find Sergi Roberto. This is better. The cross. Edge of the box. It comes to Messi. Now in. Here's Jordi Alba. Alba's cross is blocked by Gareth Bale once more. And it falls nicely for Ronaldo. Gareth Bale inside to Casemiro. Casemiro, easy option. Finds Luka Modric. Modric forced back. Varane square to Ramos. Toni Kroos. He's got Benzema to his left. A brilliant run. It's Benzema in the area. Benzema tries the shot. Whether it was a shot or whether it was looking for a diving header from Ronaldo, or maybe both at the same time. Nobody got it. The ball's directly out, wide of the far post. Goal kick. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half of the CLASICO. It's Barcelona 1, Real Madrid 1.
And another really good chance for Real Madrid. Benzema knows it. I think it was a shot. As you say, it was in that danger zone though, where...
There's Ronaldo's field of influence there in the first half. Here by Andres Iniesta. Coutinho trying to get away from Ramos. Marcelo helping out. Ramos with a firm challenge. Coutinho's down. Has to get up quickly. The referee's given a throw. Coutinho makes his way back onto the field of play. Iniesta with the ball at his feet. Sergi Roberto gets away from Marcelo. Finds Messi superbly. Messi to Busquets, finding Luis Suarez. Suarez turning Nacho, plays it back. Busquets square to Messi. Messi couldn't find a chance of a shot or a killer pass. Dips it over the top towards Iniesta, who raises the hand in apology to Leo Messi. He made a dummy to go, then came back, and Messi's ball wasted. Barcelona win it straight back though. Iniesta on the ball. Benzema losing out. Here's Messi. Looking for the almost impossible pass on Suarez. The ball falls to Coutinho. Here's Messi! Keylor Navas with a huge left hand. He's out of position though. It falls to Rakitic. The left hand volley always going wide.
Well, I tell you what, we've seen Cristiano Ronaldo and now Leo Messi one-on-one with both goalkeepers. Ter Stegen, brilliant one-on-one with Ronaldo. And here, Keylor Navas, equally brilliant. Makes it very difficult for Leo Messi, who gets the ball a little bit caught underneath his feet, and as soon as he takes that first touch, Navas is on him like a shot.
But I'll tell you what, there was a sign that there's an understanding building between Coutinho and Messi there, because all Coutinho required was a look into out of the corner of Messi's eye to know where he wanted the ball, and that'll be good news for Barcelona fans. The sooner these two create the kind of understanding Messi has with Suarez or Alba, for example, the better for Barcelona. And here's another example. Messi finding Coutinho, appeals for handball, play on. Suarez puts it back in the box. Keylor Navas, well aware of the danger. There's been a free kick. Ramos and Suarez. We were talking about sportsmanship before. I don't know how much sportsmanship there's going to be between these two. Tempers flaring as we near the end of this electrifying first half. Yellow card in the referee's hand. He wants words with both of them. Ronaldo's in there giving it his. Tuppence Haley-Worth as well. Nacho too. The referee wants to speak to Suarez and Messi. Suarez is saying that there was an elbow raised from Ramos.
I think it'll be a yellow card for both.
I think it will. Solomon himself couldn't have made a better decision, I think it's fair to say.
It'll be interesting to see the replay, because Suarez is absolutely furious and he jumps to his feet in real anger at Sergio Ramos, and it's still going on here. Watch this again. Well,
I mean, to my mind, that's an absolutely minor example of the dark arts. I'm not even going to call them dark arts. The kind of light grey arts. Yes, there's a tiny raise. It might clip him somewhere near the chest. No pain inflicted, no major problems. Suarez makes the most of it. I think Suarez gets annoyed when Ramos tries to pick him up. Why does he try to pick him up? Because Suarez is on the floor, writhing in pretend agony. The important thing is that's the third of Real Madrid's back four to have picked up a yellow card. And the first last yellow card for Suarez. On Sergio Ramos. Ramos wants a yellow card for the world's best player, and he gets it. Leo Messi, is that taking one for the team? Is that leaving a message for Ramos?
He's taking one for the team for sure. Don't touch Suarez. They've been getting on so well together on and off the field. They're a real tandem, Leo Messi and Luis Suarez. It's not the worst challenge in the world, and he's very close to winning the ball. Ramos makes the absolute most of it, as Luis Suarez had just done, which had frustrated him moments earlier. But I think it's a fair yellow card.
Fair yellow card for Leo Messi, and the moment he gets it, the Camp Nou on its feet, chanting Messi, 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 because they understand the significance, the message behind that challenge from Leo Messi. It's perhaps a good job, Duncan McMath, that we're into the final seconds of this one. I think referee Hernandez is going to need a break. Meanwhile, it's Messi trying to set up Suarez, dealt with by Rafa Varane. What a first half. 2 minutes added. We've got 2 minutes more. Rakitic on the ball. Coutinho back to Piqué. Here's Busquets. Square to Jordi Alba. Busquets again. Leo Messi. Rakitic. Suarez finds Sergio Roberto. Back to Ivan Rakitic. Now Andres Iniesta. Alba outside him if he wants. Goes inside looking for the almost impossible pass, and it's collected. And it's now Madrid on the break. Ronaldo, there's one for Bale to chase. Umtiti gets there. Bale clatters into him. That's going to be a free kick, no, a throw in. Umtiti hops back onto the pitch. Bale offers the hand. Umtiti, no poor reaction there. Well, maybe the odd words to the Welshman. Hey, that's a really nasty challenge. That's really nasty. A really nasty one. That's, to my mind, the clearest yellow card we've seen so far.
I agree. It was too close to the linesman in a way, right under his nose, and I think he probably missed it.
I'll tell you what, you get a red card for that, and there's not too much controversy. That's a horrible challenge.
It's a poor one.
Gareth Bale has got away with it. Well, we were saying that this was not only electric in terms of the footballing quality we've seen out there in this first half. We were saying, or I was saying, it seems to be being played in really sporting conditions by both teams. All of a sudden, that's changed. I don't know about you, Duncan, but that kind of makes the second half a little bit more exciting yet.
Yeah, I think so. As we said, 20 red cards in the last decade.
It's Sergio Roberto Marcelo this time. What colour's that card?
Red.
A red card for Sergio Roberto. In stoppage time. Well, foolish. Minute 47 and 17 seconds. Sergio Roberto leaves the home side with 10 men. I want to see that again. Ramos telling Marcelo to get away from the controversy. Clearly aware that the camera's on him there, Marcelo, with a couple of words. Sergio Roberto sent off. Let's have a look. Well, he does flap out with the fist. Marcelo clatters into him. Look, it's Marcelo's foul. And the hand goes out, shaped like a fist, catches him. The referee sees it. What do you say, Duncan McMath?
I say it's childish. I say it's stupid. There's so many cameras. There's a referee and a linesman, Ronaldo, explaining it wasn't a punch. You wouldn't call it a punch. It was a kind of a fist slap in the face. But you can't raise your hands. And now they've got not only one man left, but Real Madrid have got a really good chance here.
Ter Stegen setting up the ball. It will be the final touch of the half. Cristiano Ronaldo straight into the wall, comes back to him. Suarez gets the body in there. Surely the ref's going to blow for half time. Yes, he is. Barcelona won. Real Madrid won. Sergio Roberto sent off. Barca with the whole second half playing with 10 men. Messi on a yellow card. 3 of the 4 Real Madrid defenders on yellow cards. The players surrounding the referee. The fans on their feet. Duncan McMath, what more could you want?
I tell you what,